It's nice to know that you're alive and that you are making it through this each day of your life. I thank you for trying. Today, I'd like to share with you a certain realization that is very simple to spell, but you have to understand that something in life, after going through that, this realization is more meaningful to me. And then I slowly tried to figure out the logic behind certain things, and so very sensitive question: for love or for respect? Most parents that we know have abundant love for their children. Without exception, I'm not saying anything different in my case either. However, do they respect you in your work, in your, little bit here and there, whatever? I'm not saying that they have to respect you like some big legend, but do they respect you in a minimum way for the work that you do? I'm not even saying that it's a lockdown special or something. I'm saying in general, because this realization that I'm telling you is not just have due to whatever it is in lockdown. I mean, I'm just telling you that. So I've felt that they have loved me. However, they have not given me a little bit of respect. And the fact of life is that if your parents don't respect you, society doesn't respect you, and then whatever work you try to do becomes that much more difficult, and you know and that's where, if you need an example, I can tell you, because it's, for many of you who know me and might be even wondering what I'm saying here. You see, um, I had started learning sitar. There was an old sitar at home, and also I would borrow the sitar from my classroom. Then, after 2 years of my playing, my father decided to get me a sitar. He placed an order with Rikhiram in Delhi, and he never went to the shop himself. He never sat with any sitar maker himself. He allotted this work to Niladri, Niladri Kumar. Since he was frequenting Delhi and all that at that point of his life, now I was fascinated by Nikhil Banerjee's playing, and I also wanted an 8 stringed instrument. But please keep in mind that I never told my father that please get me a sitar. That was because I was playing on a sitar when I was learning. It's not that I didn't have an instrument. So later on in life, I learned that actually what my father placed an order at that time, when I was maybe 19 years old, was all in competition with my mother. She had already placed an order before he placed one, and the maker there in Kolkata told her that it won't be right to start making the instrument. Let Babu come, Babu as in me. Let Babu come, and uh, we'll check his size and whatever he needs and all that, and accordingly we can start cutting. That sounded sensible. But imagine I have realized that my father wanted to outdo this thing that no, why will my mother give me, I will give him one before that, you know, out of this feeling. And as a result, the poor sitar that came, I mean, till date the sound has not opened up, nothing has happened. I played on it for 5 years, nothing opened up. And now it sounds a little bit luxurious to say in these days that, you know, my father also gave me one sitar and my mother also gave me one sitar. But the tragedy was, so apart from that sensible thing that the maker in Kolkata said that, you know, wait for him to come. But after 5 years, after when I actually went to Kolkata and I sat with the maker and all, he didn't give me a great sitar. Even that sitar I played for another 5 years, and that also is back in its shelf, you know. So this is what I'm trying to tell you, that while your parents think that out of love, and as I said that it's a bit luxurious to say that, you know, each of my parents gave me a sitar, and that too when I did not ask them, I did not tell them that I want a sitar. Whatever I had, you know, there was an old sitar at home, and which was probably not in good shape because it was not played for long, and therefore I used to, you know, practice on a sitar that Bashopda had lent me from the classroom. I was happy. I didn't ask for any instrument. They decided, no, we will give our son. So imagine, I played on it. I realized that the sound is not going to open as I slowly learned into the art of, you know, making a sitar, what goes on. And so I realized that the wood is not seasoned, you know, you knock on it and doesn't give you the proper sound. And, you know, I did not discard the two sitars that I got from my parents. This is the biggest strength of character, if you can call, on my end, that I knew the sitars served no purpose. When I started playing in Baithaks and my initial few concerts and all, I had sometimes terrible experiences. The knobs would slip, it would not hold the tension of the string. If there was a change of temperature in the AC and this and that, automatically there would be a problem. Constantly there would be a problem with the tuning. If I tried to play a single phrase, again it would get detuned very badly. And this kind of thing does not happen on a proper seasoned instrument. Even if you have a new instrument, it is only after 10 years of, or 14 years of my playing, that I actually went myself to order a sitar, and that sitar was more or less, so it's new and I'm practicing on it, it will take its time to open up. But that was the first time I went to get my own sitar the way I had ordered it, and the maker had also said, yes, I have studied some of your videos and I think I know what you need and all that. And his idea was sensible, that the size and everything, you know, it fits me, fits my requirement. So imagine I had to wait 14 years to do that. And the reason being that I played the sitar that my father gave me, I played 5 years on it. The sitar that my mother gave me, I played another 5 years. So imagine, this is something that you guys don't know. You know that I have started playing at the age of 17. But you guys don't know that after starting at the age of 17, my first 10 years, like 5 plus 5 years of playing sitar was only with the instruments that my parents gave me. And I knew that they are not going to help me. These are not the kind of instruments that are going to take the load of my playing. I knew it. So if you ask me, I didn't. Why am I a fool to play on an instrument that is not going to, help me in my playing? Am I a fool to do that? No. I respected that out of their hard work, they have, arranged for this kind of thing. And without my asking, they have given me. I respected their sentiment. Okay. Knowing that the sitars are completely useless for my work, I respected their sentiment. I could have been very opportunistic. I could have just simply discarded them in the first 5 years only, saying that this is of no use, and carried on. I could, like my father had told me, this is not the only sitar, we can get another sitar for you and all that, because he had realized that it was a really bad sitar. If I would have told him, he would have shelled out and happily given me one more. But I felt there is a limit, the kind of spending and everything. So you can understand why I waited 14 years to get my own instrument. Because by then I had played enough concerts and I did not feel any more regret that, my parents got this and they were badly cheated. I did not feel that thing anymore. That then I could move on, because of that whole thing. So this is a story that is really close to my heart. But what went wrong, if you ask me? Things don't need to be so dramatic and so, hard and tough in life. If you use a little bit of sense, when I got my sitar made, I went personally, just like before I got my sitar made, I would go so many times to the makers and sit with them, for repair work and all that. I know that you cannot just place an order and expect to get the best instrument. It doesn't work like that. You've got to sit with them. You've got to give them respect. You can learn things from them. You can chat with them. You can build a rapport with them, a relation with them. And then you see, then things are very different. So, my father placing an order, he never went to Rikhiram's shop. My mother placing an order, she never went and sat with Hemant Sen. You see, and Hemant Sen is a reputed sarod maker, not a sitar maker. He was nice enough to make this, but ultimately the craft of making a sitar, I'm sure he will accept this in all humility. His sons, and it's not that I played on it. You can see I am not just saying anything. You can check out a video from the past. This was in my performance while playing at Sursinger Samsad, where I was given Surmani. But can you imagine, for such an important thing in the beginning of my career, it's literally the place where people spot your young talent and everything. And I had judges like Pandit Nityanand Haldipur, Pandit Pradeep Chatterjee, Pandit Rajendra Burman. So imagine, it was not a small deal. And you can see in the video that my knob has simply come out, slipped out, the main string while pulling. And at first I thought it's really the change in temperature, which was also drastic, I must say. That back in those days, now recently when I've gone back there again to attend some of the junior artists' performances, I've happened to see things are a little better organized. But back in those days, the kind of green room myself and Abhimanyu played with me on tabla. If you ask him also, he will say the same thing. The green room was something like 40 degrees Celsius. It was the month of May, 11 years back. Today we are 2021, I'm talking about 2010. It was 40 or even 40 plus, I don't know, some insane temperature. And on the stage it was 26 or 25 degrees, or typically that, or maybe even less. So you can imagine, it is not easy on the sitar. However, later on, like this new sitar I have, and I was lucky that I could revive some of my father's old instrument, and all these years I could manage somehow with that, although it was not cut to my size, but I had to manage like that. So imagine this new instruments, or even those old instruments of from my father, if they had to go through this temperature change, they would probably not sound well. They would sound a little below the tonal brilliance that they have. The resonance would be less or something like that, but the knob would never slip. The tuning of the knob would remain pakka. So I am just saying that, and this is a sincere request to all parents, if you are giving an instrument to your child, seeing that he or she is very passionate about playing, then whether or not you think it's important, you must make the effort to go to a shop yourself. If you feel a little awkward to approach them, you go with a friend, but don't send a friend. You go yourself also. That way, a certain seriousness will be gauged in your idea of getting this instrument. So please keep this in mind. Otherwise, you will become like Soham Munim. 10 years I have played on two instruments that I knew have no future. They will serve no purpose. The proportions were cut wrong. It was never fitting my fingers. So from tuning to, slipping of hands to many things, it was just not right. And after those 10 years, I was playing my father's instrument. I was playing, an aunt who was very kind enough, she gave me. So I had certain good luck factors also. But as you can see, till now, I have never played on an instrument that was made for me. Hopefully, if I exist, if my instrument works out, if the concert scenario works out, then you will probably hear in the new normal, whenever that is, my own instrument, my own sound in my own hands.